Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Oh, I got some good stuff for you. I've been in the books. I'm dying to get this lesson out, so let's get the party started. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. My mission is that all my right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. Excuse me. See where we going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question: do you know you? You will when I'm through. And if it's rhetorical, and if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. We're still working on the virtue. That's the one God. That's the all-encompassing God. And that showed y'all the last lesson. We went through the Amen Ra Patel concept. Now we're dealing with just what? The nurture. Excuse me. Let's talk about the nurture and the creative process. Excuse me. Down here, you see a picture of a man sitting. That's him. But all those other signs are aspects and concepts written in hieroglyphics to pronounce his name. But the bottom line is you see him sitting there by himself. Now let's go. Let's talk about the virtue right quick. This could be a short lesson. I got quick information, 2 pages, but good stuff. Let's rock. Now, the virtue and the creative process. In the creation story, remember, these are stories involving the Asarian mystery. We're dealing with Asar, Aset, Haru concept. And he assumes the role of Khepra, which is Khepra and Tim. That's the morning sunrise. Comes up in Khepri, the scarab-haired beetle. You always see that in the virtue, his body is of the shell of the beetle. Okay, that's why Khepri is the beetle. He represents new life, so that's why he represents the sunshine. Tim represents the sun going down, and so Asar represents sunrise and the sunset. Alpha and Omega, sound familiar? And all these other terminologies are Greek concepts taken from us, presented to y'all. So every time we say something, we got to refer to them. That's so annoying to me. Moving on. Okay. And so Osiris assumes the role of Khepri and Tim, meaning he's the beginning and the end. But watch this. Nabercha saith, if I'm going to have a God talk to me, I would rather him tell me who he is. Not his little punk attitude about I'm a jealous God. You don't need to be God then. He tells you, I am the creator of what have come into being. We didn't splice you in the Garden of Eden. We didn't take you to scientific and cut your genome off so you won't be this. We didn't insert the God gene, all that nonsense. Just saying. Somebody believes that. And that's fine, because somebody's telling you it's information. I tell you, all information ain't good and useful information. I rest my case. So you can delve in. Moving on. See, I'm trying to give you a concept. That's all. Just a concept. They got one too. Moving on. Not a competition. Moving on. But watch this. He's telling you, I am, and I myself came into being. under the form of the god Khepri. I just told you about the scarab beetle. And I came into being in the primeval time. He's saying had union. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where it gets a little, because they can't deal with the sexual concept. I don't give a damn. He said I had union with my hand, so I masturbated. He self-pleasured himself. Hello. And his hand became the female aspect. What? Because she was the instigator of what? The process. Simple as that. So get over the nonsense. I got a picture where he's showing you he's male and female. So he used the male part to plant the seed. He took the female part and planted it in him. So he gave life. And this is what we're going to right now. I'm going to break it down for you right here. I came into being out of primeval time. I had union with my hand. Okay. And I embraced my shadow. The Ka. The spirit has an opposite. That's the shadow of your Ka. In a love embrace. So he loved himself. Excuse me. Sorry. Whoa. If you can't love yourself, you sure ain't gonna be able to love no one else. That's a fact. And God started with that. I poured seed, into my own mouth. He ejaculated into his own mouth and sent forth what? From myself. Issue in the form of what? God. With an S. It's gonna be some more. Shoot. He coughed up shoe, dry air. That's what we breathe. And he spit out tough new, moisture, water. We got stories to justify every act of creation so it can break down so you can understand it. There's no mystery. There's no ooh, and sure ain't no just believe. It would make sense. Ask yourself, one thing that I ever tell you or give to you, do it make sense. You ain't got to agree with it. You ain't got to like it or subscribe to it. But it always makes sense if that's what you're looking for. That's what I got. Simple. And I came into being in the form of Khepri. And I was the creator of what came into being. I formed myself out of the primeval matter, aka the noon, which is him again. And I formed myself in the primeval matter. My name is Osiris. I was alone, for there were no gods and goddess. They were not yet born. I hadn't created them out of myself yet. It's still me doing what I need to do before I give life. And I had emitted from myself. I love this. Neither Shu or Tough knew at that time. So wasn't nobody there but me. We ain't in no laboratory. You'll never hear me give you the Garden even nonsense, okay? Don't have time for that. I brought into my own mouth, Heka, words of power. And I forthwith came into being what? Under the form of things, objects, material, matter, which were created under the form of Khepri, which is the scarab beetle, which is his body, which will show you that it's all breaks down. I'm almost, I got a little time. I'm good. I ain't got the rest of this. Now we're getting down to the Nabertia. This was all said by, he told you what he did. He tell you how he did it. He laid out there for you, and it was all done by one. Okay, understand that. All that calling him, he could care less what you call him. That's my point with that religious philosophy. But I just showed you the sign in the birch. He's sitting there. Watch this. Now, these passages that all point to the fact that what? That while the name of the Supreme Being don't really matter, has changed again under what? Different priesthoods, different cultures, different concepts. Just the name changed. Okay? And these are merely just different expressions of the same principles and teachings, which even use the same wording in some places. Therefore, there is no discontinuity or confusion. Oh, he said that no, it all lines up. That's what I'm saying. They account for everything. Didn't miss nothing. Within the theology that's being taught. Simple as that. Well, they said that. Okay, they do that over here. Over here, we do this. Simple. When in Rome, what? You better do it Jerome. You didn't know why? You better ask somebody. If you're in my hood back in the day, you better acquiesce. Why? This is our spot. You can't come here and do nothing. My man, Wild Wild West. 129th and Convent. I know it well. And back in the day, if you went up there and started trouble, it wasn't allowed. And that's how every block used to be back in the day. Remember the Warriors? In order for you to travel through the town, you better know how to do what you need to do. I tell people, I went from 18th Street, Avon Avenue to Weekway Park. I traveled through every neighborhood from here to there without a problem. So I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a jungle. But if you know how to handle the jungle, you can move through it with the greatest of ease. Tell him, George, slide between the molecules of wetness like an eel through seaweed. I was a slithering idiot. Sorry, I'm feeling good this morning because this is teaching. I hope you get the message. But yeah, man. Now, these passages, all of them say things about one thing, but let's talk about this. More importantly, the last passage, let's talk about that right quick. I'm about to get the page. Last passage reminds us that what? All of the names called to God in the forms of God merely are what? Outward expressions of what? The Supreme Being, the creator of all, the Nabercha. In his what? Physical manifestation is the universe and nature and man. How about that? Animals, everything. He do all of this, though being called by different names, he don't concern himself with that. Okay? He blessed those who do what he know is right, and those who follow him would do just that, and they earn that. I'm not here to preach to you about how God bless you. No, I'm just trying to explain to you, you earn your blessings. It ain't by accident. Moving on. All that praying don't mean jack. They tell you, how about this? Prayer with no works is dead. So you can pray all you want. Put the work in. I'm telling you, it's all about the work that you put in. Don't care what you call it. Moving on. And now, all this is the physical world is the manifestation of the Supreme Being, the virtue who signifies, I call it the all-encompassing. The sign of the sun disk with the two wings and the Uranus on each side for protection, that represent God. Okay, that was the first sign. He wasn't never in human form. We gave him human form to study, to learn, and to emulate for purpose, philosophical and mythological, allegorical purposes to teach a concept that can be adopted and used. Ancients were very good at that. Let's go. I'm trying to help you do it. Why? That's what I got it from. And watch this. All-encompassing being is the source of what? Trinity. Remember, Amen Ra Patah. But Nabercha includes all male and female aspects of said Trinity and is therefore what? It should be understood as to be androgynous. Again, male and female. The spirit of Haru, they call it the great he, she. Why? Because the spirit was in male and female. That's why. And the primordial being from which what? Arose all names and forms. So whatever name you call them, don't make a difference. It's still the one. And all your gods and goddesses, all creation still comes from the one. We want to make that point clear. So stop with the whole bunch of gods nonsense. No, all these are aspects of the one God. So please, Moses started monotheism, the one God. Wrong about that too. We had Pharaoh Akhenaten who thought the sun just was God. Whenever you do something in thought tense, you was wrong. What I thought, thought and knowing. I would rather know. So before I thought, I'm not going to do something that I don't know. So I want I thought. I don't live in thought mode. You shouldn't either. Now, watch this. Where we at? The other important point is this, in this passage, is that Osiris states that what? He brought himself into existence and thereby creation into being by what? Just uttering his own name. Pata, Asa, P-Funk. I'm bringing myself into existence. I named myself that. Why? Because it's symbolic. It means something to me. It gives me purpose and reason to live up to my name. The name I was given at birth, my parents like that. That ain't got to do with me. Never did like the name personally, but that's neither here there. But yeah, P-Funk is me. Why? Pure real. That's how I see myself. That's why. So quick interjection right there. But the idea of the primeval utterance, they're showing you that man has the power to what? Utter things into existence from a thought, which emerges out of what? The hidden regions of what? The existence and into the realm of time and space. It comes from here to here and comes out. That's time and space, taken up here by the priest of who? Osiris. The Trinity of the Trinity and the origins of the God and goddesses. Right quick, wrap it up with this. I got stuff over here for you, I think. Yeah, okay, that's another lesson. Okay, cool. Let me wrap this up. This is a good little paragraph. Some more good information about the virtue. It's the Trinity and the origins of the God and goddesses. In ancient Egypt, we had hymns to Amun. Verse 32 states that all the gods are there. All the gods are three, You got Amun, Ra, and Ptah. And they are none other like unto them. They come from the one, okay? And this utterance comments what? The most important teaching of the hymn, which will be elaborated in our next 4 utterances, and we're about to take care of that right now. I'm going to end up with this. Now, here you begin to discover what? The secrets of Shiti. Shiti means to study. It means spiritual discipline. Hold yourself accountable or have a spiritual program, routine, whatever you want to call it. Okay? When you go to the monastery, they're going to practice what? Spiritual discipline, and they run by a spiritual program that they follow strictly. Okay? And to go deeply into what? The mysteries of who? God was always the mystery, right? Because he's hidden. We Shita teaching you how to find the hidden with the esoteric meaning and understanding of things. And that means you have to study the mystery teachings and the literature, what? Profoundly. Don't just look over it. Before I get these lessons, man, I done read this a few times, over and over. So now when I'm going through, I'm pretty much talking because I done went through it. Okay, all I do is interject my personal ad-lib to the situation and my knowledge of what I have of it to hope say it works and put it all together. Connect the dots, so to speak. I like to use that analogy. But you have to study profoundly, daily, simple. To what? To penetrate the mysteries and recall and master the teachings. You can't learn today and well, I'll be back in a couple. It don't work that way. You got to put the work in daily. That's my favorite word. And here it is a hieroglyph for what I'm about to tell you. See that whole row of things going on there? But the first you see is what? Scarab beetle, right? At the end, you see him again. So let's talk about that right quick. Yeah, I'm good. It's almost there. I'm almost home. I became from one God to become 3. I was 1, I became 3. That's the hieroglyph for it, and that's the translation for it over 5,000 years ago. The Shiti, which is the study, which will be revealed, okay, secret, here refers to what? The nature of what? The Trinity itself, and the nature of what? Its origin, where it come from, of the netters or gods and goddesses who compose creation. This utterance points to what? The fact that all of the various gods and goddesses that are described in the various religious scriptures are in reality, you ready? Manifestations of the same Trinity principle, hidden, visible, manifested. Watch. Unconscious, conscious, subconscious. Any way you want to look at it, it's 3 phases. And watch this. They all manifestation of the Trinity. And this teaching I'm doing right now emulates the one which is given in Menfight. Again, we're using Ptah. And theology, which based on the God Ptah. As well as the Anuya theology, which the God is based on who? Ra. Now over in Waset, you're going to deal with Amun. He always get left out for some reason. The 2 are these 2 here, but I'm just going because the more popular one that the people gravitated to was the Asar, Aset, and Haru theology. For some reason, it became top billing. Okay, anything else, people get to choose what they like. Moving on. But you had a choice. Again, see? The Jews didn't create monotheism. They just picked one God. They picked the one. Okay, we take him. Y'all can have, we want Yahweh. Okay, you got Zeus, you got Ra. Oh, we'll take Yahweh for 20. Okay, and I ain't mad at him. Why? Because they live by what he said, and that's what they live. That's the Jewish tradition. Nobody likes them. Why? Because they're not doing what everybody else doing. Nobody likes the guy who don't want to do what they want to do. Moving on. Okay, for some reason, that's where we are as a society. That's ridiculous. Where we at? But okay, we down here. So watch this. Now, there are no other beings beside the supreme divinity. Again, by himself, everything was created out himself. Also, since everything is a manifestation of that supreme self we call God, all things, including gods, goddesses, we call them netters. We got the planets, okay? We have animal life. We have stars out there. We see, etc. There's a lot of stuff going on that God creates out of himself. To think anything other than that, you can do it, but okay, whatever suits your fancy. Okay, but now, watch this. Where we at? Okay, manifested. Now, the teachings, which I just did that. Okay, the metaphor, we doing Ptah and Ra. Sorry about that. And if you notice closely, they follow another utterance from what? The Egyptian book of coming forth by day. I'm wrapping it up with this. I came into being from unformed matter, meaning nothing, just possibly the noon. I came into existence as Kepra, the scarlet beetle. I grew in the form of plants. That's plant life. I am hidden, there you go, where in the tortoise. If you get a turtle, the American Indians, Native Americans, they say that the world is on the back of his tail. Tell you everything, 13 months calendar, 28-day month. They had all that in their philosophy and their theology. Simple as that. Everybody use nature. How about that? And I am the essence of what? What you the essence of? Of every God. I am yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Sound familiar? Alpha and Omega. Hope you got the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. But guess what? I got more. So I'll be back. And in closing, right thinkers, may y'all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my good people have passed away. I'll be back.